Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for all coming. Lon is traveling abroad, so he'll be absent, and I'm not sure if Nancy will be late or absent. We do have a quorum. Everybody pull out their minutes of April 13th's meetings. Trees are not gone.
They're not gone.
Old business,
Where?
section 2. The oldest trees in America once stood. The trees are not gone. Some of them are.
I got everybody else's packets all nicely arranged, and mine's one big mess. Oh, there's the minutes. Oh, it's not. So the trees are not gone, just delete that line?
Trees are not gone.
Okay.
Some of the trees are still there.
Okay.
The books part, so is it climate controlled, but it really air quality, fire protection? So it's, they're not fireproof, those containers where the books are?
That I don't know, but they're all, you can't hear the
Right, they're all climate controlled.
climate control. I am assuming that they're sprinkled, but, or whatever. I mean, the whole building is,
Building steel and water, but, I mean, the contents are still flammable, so I would assume that the building is sprinkled. It's modern enough that it would be. I think risk is low, where it's temporary. It's probably all we can do. On the new business, my term is up? Are you
Yes.
sure?
yes.
Okay,
And you already told me to go ahead and tell them that you wanted to re-up.
all right.
Now,
All
whether
right.
they took, I believe this is a new thing
Yeah.
that select people
I'm gonna bring
put
it up.
into place.
I'm gonna bring it up. It's nice of them to notify us.
So, it's on the website, is how I really found out it's, yeah.
We'll cover that on the new.
Will we? Yeah.
They haven't contacted me. Okay. Blink, blink.
Don't forget, these are the April minutes. May is after.
I hope so.
No, May minutes are here too.
Yeah.
I'm caught up now,
Oh.
thank God.
Okay, April's minutes. Anybody have any other corrections other than the apple trees to the minutes?
Oh, maybe. I don't think it's allowed.
Hearing no other corrections, here entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended. So all right.
I make motions to accept.
You Need a motion to accept second? Jan,
I second.
second, all in favor? Aye. So we doing Mays now too?
Indeed.
Indeed.
They're the ones that nobody got a chance to look at until now.
Where'd you put them?
Go to the next one now.
Go next one down. Yeah, all right, come on, I got it.
Hello.
Hello, Nancy.
Hello, sorry I'm late.
That's okay, I
Just
told
getting
them you were
started,
going
just
to be
doing the
late,
minutes.
so it's okay. Thank you.
We just approved April with one
We
adjustment.
just did April with one correction.
I couldn't get them off my computer, I don't know what's wrong.
I don't either, but obviously some correction on the tree.
May's minutes of meeting, does anybody have any other corrections, errors, or omissions?
Number 4. Instead of sent, they should be sent, I think.
Where?
Number 4,
Number
new
4?
business.
Send. Oh, new business?
No, it
Sent,
can't
no?
be sent because I just gave the stuff out for that meeting, so I would not have sent it. These are the
Oh.
minutes for the night that I did that, showed you guys that
Oh,
photo.
right, you will send.
It's because it's all so long ago.
Yeah.
I entertain a motion to accept minutes as read.
She hadn't sent them yet.
No, she's thanking them for the photo that was
Motion made by
sent to
Eva,
us.
second. Second, somebody?
I second.
Sue on the second, all in favor? Aye. Okay.
There's two sends. in
Right?
that.
For the
There's two sends in that one sentence.
Right.
sent.
Right.
I'm
Okay,
with
do
you. I
we
was
have
on the
any,
first one,
I
not the
was
second
too.
one.
Okay.
do we have any incoming correspondence?
Oh, we have everything.
Merrimack Valley Planning Committee?
Merrimack. No. Hold on one second while I shift from April and May into, what are we, oh yeah, June. The June pile. Oh, no, no. got an email about
Got the emails from correspondence with Gordon. Do that under, that'll be under new
Oh,
business.
here we are. And we got it's Friendships of the Parker River, Northern Essex County, something or other, here we are. National Wildlife Refuge, that's what that stands for. Parker River Wildlife Refuge, Inc. They're having a lecture series at the place on Turnpike, on the highway, on the Plum Island Turnpike?
The Peter Building.
No, Plum Island Turnpike.
The Audubon place?
No.
National Wildlife.
The wildlife.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yep, on the side.
it's Tuesday. I just printed like 3 of them. You know, you can share.
What's it about?
It's interesting, I think. People of the Northern Essex County.
We had one of those.
Yeah.
We have a ton, but we have one of these.
Really?
Number 2.
Oh, number 2?
What is it?
Did you dig them up along the river?
So, just in case anybody, you know, is interested in going.
Yeah, I know.
We have somebody.
Was there anything else that I could have gone in?
Tuesday. Oh, that's next Tuesday.
Yeah, it's this coming,
This Tuesday.
yeah.
All right, so that's next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Visitor Center, Parker River Headquarters, 6 Plum Island Turnpike.
Does it show one more? He does it all.
Okay.
I guess.
Oh, and actually, we did get a Merrimack Valley Planning Commission thing.
Okay.
And we also got a thing from, that I forgot to put on the list, I'm sorry about that, because it's like kind of a little late now. We got a thing about gravestone preservation workshops. They're having in Gloucester Cemetery. It's $75 for one day or $125 the other. And it's the 16th and 17th, so that would be tomorrow and Saturday. If anybody's interested, let me know. But they had one not here that Donnie
We did one at the First Parish Church, Grace.
just recently.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was free, I bet.
Well, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
exactly.
basically for church members, but,
Yeah.
and I'm sure anybody can come and we learn how to clean.
Yeah.
It was.
Same old crap.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
These plastic.
Treasurer's report.
Spatula almost, yeah.
Everybody, please peruse the treasurer's report. It's the end of our fiscal year.
We have a little problem with overflow.
We went over.
No, we're gonna be losing because they don't, the budget doesn't flow from one to the another, one year to the other. So we're gonna end up losing some of our funds if we don't spend them between now and the 30th.
Did you guys say something
I think
about
we had a bunch of
buying
stuff that we were
flowers?
gonna,
Did you guys say something about buying
I
flowers?
did buy some.
Oh, you
They
already
don't
did?
look so great, but I did buy them.
Did you
Did you
give
agree?
Lon,
A bill?
a bill and stuff for that?
No,
They
because
want you to.
I know, but Fred said no. So they didn't cost that much.
Well, Fred's not helping us.
If I do something before now and
30s.
30th.
Like get a, small tree.
Okay.
So with that in mind,
so how much are we short, how much?
are we gonna be, did we underspend by?
Yeah.
Yeah, how much did you?
No, I can't find any right stuff. put you guys all in nice tidy order, and
Yeah.
somehow mine's belonging from either in yon.
Can we get some of those maps of the, not the maps, but the, you know, that thing we had for the, where the settlement was around the Lower Green? We used to have some of those, remember? Hmm?
The first, from the first settlers thing?
Yeah. Can we get some of those printed?
Why not?
If people want.
I thought we were already gonna do that. It
I
just,
thought Lon was supposed to get a whole bunch of stuff
Yeah,
printed
printed.
and run the,
I didn't know if that was one of them or not.
that was the one that's sons and daughters thing, or something, shows all the first.
Yeah.
They were done by-
Plots.
It was Dole that did it.
Hmm?
It was Dole that did it.
Was it Dole or?
That's the one with the map, right?
Yeah,
That shows all little plots of
Yes,
land and
yes.
divisions.
could we do that without getting, do we have to get permission from sons and daughters because they did it first? They won't give us permission.
It's in the history books.
Right.
It's in other books. So,
So could we
they
do
already
that?
plagiarized.
Could we do that?
Why not?
Could I take one to the Minuteman? and
Yeah,
get
there
them?
should be, is there one in the, is there one there?
I think they're all gone, but if they are, I have one at home that
Because I have one, you know, I have that little bag, my little bag there that's inside the alarm closet.
Okay,
And there'd be one, it might be folded, but I think, I could have sworn I hid one in there. There's like a folder.
okay.
It's the one that said, I think, glass or something like that down there. I think there's one in there that I
Oh,
put in
well.
there, because it was the only one left.
I'm there this Saturday unless somebody else wants to.
And then I was talking to Leslie about the sign, the sandwich board,
Yes,
and she said that they got the new ones like these.
Yeah.
And you slide, and they're waterproof.
okay.
See it in the back?
Yep.
So I was looking at one of them like this,
Yeah.
and with the letters and everything, and you can put sand in them so they won't blow over. Or I figured even with the hole here, we could put like a little sandbag or whatever, and you can leave it out the whole time,
Why don't you order one?
right? Does everyone think that's a good
Yeah,
idea?
we got that money to spend before the end of the month?
Yeah.
according to what I'm reading here, we got, the general account, we got $786 available.
But we don't know.
We don't know what he's
We
spent.
don't
He
know
doesn't-
if he's done anything yet.
He was there yesterday at Town Hall. And part of the reason is because the guy that does the Atkinson, he billed us only a half a month.
Wilkinson?
Yeah,
Wilkinson.
that's it. Because he wants us to be billed on the first, like everybody else. So it's not confusing for them, which is fine, but he had been billing, I guess he had been doing us part way, like in the middle of the month, so he only billed for half a month to bring us to like July 1st.
Yeah.
So he had planned on the whole amount of money and something else he,
Okay, so it says right, so it actually is in his notes. So he's confirming what I just said, $786 still left. Will have to be turned in by July 1st, if not spent. So the only drawback is you have to submit the bill for payment to the
yeah.
correct office.
Yeah, it's right, upstairs with me. And then, Nancy, want a girl?
You know what I really want is a new wig for the boy.
We can do
I
that too.
gave him a haircut. It looks better than it did. I haven't dyed it yet. You should have seen the wig that came with it.
And get a little girl. She's a stander though.
Listen, a mohawk?
Her name is Sandra?
No, she stands.
So is this from anywhere local, or we have to put this on somebody's credit card?
Order it, I can do it.
All you have, you put it on your credit card and
I get points.
you get points.
Sure.
It's your deal. Will you make a motion, please, for,
I make a motion that Jan purchase a Arco roll of frame with a two-sided white letterboard stand with deluxe characters for $150.
before shipping?
Yeah.
Second?
Second.
Sue on the second. All in favor? Aye.
They don't look very happy.
They're in school.
They're in school. George is so cute, he's sitting there just.
Otherwise, this is all we've got, is
Yeah.
the sitter. And I think he's the same, I think this is the same one.
That is George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nancy, I think we already gave you approval to go forward with that small stuff. So
Okay,
go to it, get your invoice into Jan.
but do we want these if they were sit
Well, I think her arms move, she could maybe be at the board.
at the board?
And if nothing else, we can rest her wrist on the board.
Okay. I told George to be quiet when he got his hair cut, and he was very good.
Okay, so we need a wig, we need two wigs.
You guys handle that. We gotta keep moving along. here.
Okay, so we're gonna get another mannequin for the schoolhouse, so we'll have two children with the teacher. And it will look like a schoolhouse.
So the
And
goal
you're right.
was for
You're
Lon
right
to
in
get
front of
the
the
maps printed and use that money to get the maps printed, which is not getting done.
Nope.
Oh, has anybody talked to Lon?
He's not on vacation.
He was waiting on Eva to give him the information because he has to then put the numbers on depending on what.
Yeah, I gave him the
Which you
first one
did.
earlier this week. I've updated that one, and mostly it was references. And I did one for the mile markers, which I just sent him.
Yeah, and he's gone for 2 weeks, so.
All right, no crying over spilled milk. Entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I make a motion.
Nancy, second.
Second.
Sue on the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Treasurer's report recorded. Okay, we have no committee reports. Old business.
I'm sorry, what was the email from Gordon College regarding the interns?
We haven't got that far yet. We'll do it under new business.
Doing it under what?
New business.
Oh, okay.
Upper Green, Selectman sent me an email requesting a report back from our meeting we just had with the Upper Green Greenery Committee. And what we did, at our meeting, we did discuss what our report would be. And I explained to the chairman of the selectmen that we did not vote on anything because we didn't change anything from our previous letter we had sent 2 months before. That we are in agreement with the same amount of trees. And Jan has written the letter back to the selectmen.
It's an excellent letter.
I thought it
Good
was
job,
nice.
Jan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So they have all of that, and we'll see from there. So that is old business and done. Other old business, I have not emailed the Moody interviewee. I will get to that. I just wrote myself a note. Let's see what else is old business. Cultural Heritage Planning Board, have you guys met at all? Anything happening there?
No, I just put it as a reminder, and
Okay.
if you'll notice on the May minutes, I moved the old business to the bottom, so it doesn't have to keep cluttering, just like it hangs
Okay.
there,
Good.
so we can get right into the newer,
Yeah.
when we review, so.
Any luck on the haystacks, Nancy?
No.
Okay.
Did you see the guy at all at church, or?
I'll have to see if Fred can talk to him.
Okay.
He's after seeing.
Okay, we just discussed the map, so that's out.
I actually have a few updates I can give you guys.
Oh, I printed mine out. Yep, I printed it out, so you.
And I did update this, I don't think you have that updated one. On the visitors guide,
Oh,
I added some, I only added some references to it.
It's about the milestones.
Oh,
She sent that a little while ago, yeah.
You updated this one?
I did. I just added some references that I used and a little bit.
Yes, yep.
They hate them,
Yeah, she sent it to us.
Should have
Yeah,
done it.
early this
It's
afternoon.
open every weekend.
Devil's Den, Devil's Pulpit, Devil's Basin, forgot, yeah, I remember that. Every lot, good, good.
And that was the second page, you have the second page? Yeah.
My second page only has one thing on it.
Yep,
Drover's Tavern,
yep.
okay,
And I found 3 references, which was great to find for that.
good.
And that's part of the milestones, because it was on that same.
Yep, definitely, Hampton Museum added, so that went to Lon, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he'll
And
pick
was,
up on
the
that.
other one added was,
Oh, the stone marker?
yeah, I kind of had him out of place, the stone
Yeah.
marker on the green.
So much information, you can't fit it all on the map.
Right,
Well,
and
but
that's
we
what I-
lot rid of so many things that.
Yeah, we did get rid of a lot.
And the milestones too, I didn't know if you wanted a blip on the history of them or just the location. Is that kind of important?
Yeah.
I keep,
We gotta
this
get
is such
those
a mess
done.
because we're doing it over, but I have an early American magazine, Early American Life magazine on the milestones. Yeah, and I keep, next time I film it, I'll show it in here, so when I come.
Are those, were those called the Bay State, is it Bay State milestones? They're just the first, why does that keep popping into my
The
head?
Bay State kind of sounds familiar.
Well, it was old Bay Road.
Massachusetts Bay.
Bay,
That's what the Massachusetts. Massachusetts Bay Colony, yeah, called
yeah,
them.
yeah.
They actually just referred to it as the Bay Road, but I stuck the old in there just now, by the time
Good job.
Okay, just because it's right in front of me, we'll go to new business now. This is a letter from Administrative Assistant to the Selectmen during the May 9th and May 23rd, 2017 meeting of Board of Selectmen. Parking, Lower Green, was discussed. Chief Riley confirmed the damage to the condition of the Lower Green. A result, the Board of Selectmen has voted to make the Lower Green a no parking tow zone. The board also voted to allow on the west side of Newman Road extension along the stone wall across from the historic schoolhouse to make that parking area resident parking only. So that's our dirt road, the opposite
Yeah.
side of it, okay? Just want to make sure. Concern was expressed to the selectmen parking for the historic schoolhouse, not to be available for visitors, especially during summer boating weekends. The board voted to contact the historical commission. They're talking about putting 3 gravel parking spaces on our side of the driveway, but I'm sure they'll contact us. They wanted to put them 90 degrees to the road. I thought it would be much better to have them paralleling the road.
I think it's not needed. We don't have that much traffic to put gravel there, and it would spoil the green, actually, and I think Lon is of the same opinion.
We
Okay.
already have parking along the wall on the side of the green where the house, where the schoolhouse is. It's grassy, it's a grassy area with right by the, Jiffy John or whatever
Yeah.
we're supposed to call it.
Do
Potty
you
or-
want us, do we want to send a letter to the selectmen? Do we want to say this right now?
Maybe you could sign put up that says schoolhouse parking, so people would know to pull in there and
Yeah, I
park
think
right there.
it's not like we have busloads of kids.
Right, but I mean,
Yeah.
if somebody wanted to come in and look, well, where
So
do I
we're
go?
okay.
Yeah.
Here we are saying you can't park on the grass, but is there enough space for,
That's where people always park when they come in, almost always. There's very few people who park on the, even on the green, excuse me, the green side of, like right around by where the light pole is, that's, I mean, very few people park here. They park right along the stone wall that marks the
but the stone wall's gonna have boats
green,
parked there now.
the green belt.
But the boats are
Right.
gonna be parked there now,
Does it say that?
yes.
If they're residential.
Residential boats will be parking there now.
Yeah,
That's why they're talking about.
So I think if we, the back end of the schoolhouse, we put our car there, you know, on that side of the, on the east side of the road, next to the schoolhouse, in the back. That would encourage visitors to come and park there.
Well, if a boat's parked on the opposite side, it's not gonna leave you enough space unless you park completely on the grass.
Well, they're not parking boats, right? They're parking with,
Trailers and the
Trailers.
boats, so the trailer's as wide as the boat. It's 8.5 feet wide. If they don't park tight against the wall, it's gonna put them out into the road. So I think, we should have 3 parking spaces, but parallel to the road. Whether they're next to the school, I think it'd better to have them next to the school instead of behind the flag. Does that make sense?
But I don't think they need to, you know, dig up and put gravel there.
Just park on the grass.
Just park on the grass. We're not, we don't get that many, I mean, do we?
depends, but,
One person
Depends on
working
during
and
the
one,
week. I mean, I brought those people
Well,
down
lawn
during the
walks.
week.
it's so hard for him unless it's raining out.
Well, during the week, it's not that important, it's not that issue, it's not an issue. I really think personally that if the town is gonna provide a parking launching ramp, they should provide the parking.
all right, do we want to send them a letter or take no action? Or a letter?
We have to take some kind of an action, or they're gonna gravel it without us.
All right. So a letter saying that we would
We would prefer,
like to be part of the discussion about where the parking spaces would
we
be.
would prefer not to have it hung up. in the
Okay.
gravel.
All right, so we're gonna send the Board of Select, Ellen Jamison, letter back saying the Historic Commission would like to be part of the planning for the 3 parking spaces for the historic site.
That letter doesn't say when this is gonna be implemented, is it? There are no parking under the trees, because today there were 3 trucks, 2 cars, people who were working on Mr. Kinney's house, who was vocal and
Well,
not
that's
having parking
probably-
under there.
And that's another story.
Fred called the policeman, he called the police chief, he said, they're parking under there, when are you gonna take care of it? Didn't get a call back.
It does not say when it will be. I will check with the chairman of the Selectmen.
They're not gonna enforce it.
I don't know why I don't have that.
Okay, that's it for the parking letter. Gianni, you ready to talk about the Gordon intern?
Well, excuse me, I think the problem with it is, we don't have a plan in place. We can't just stick some kid
No.
in the library. And they have someone that is supposed to be the guide, that their advisor from the school. But right now, we don't have any plan in place. So, I mean, it's a great idea and it would be awesome, but who's watching them? Who's gonna make sure they're there? Who's going to direct them? we don't even say, we can't even say, here's the plan of what we want you to do, because we haven't even gotten there yet, so it kind of forces our hand.
Is that digital,
me.
is that the digital size?
And not just that,
I think,
Digitizing.
aren't we waiting on Jean Ackley to?
Yeah, but she actually wanted certain things done,
Yep.
kind of even, they were in that room, they really didn't have anything to do with us.
Yep.
But they do have somebody there to do it. She said she had somebody there to do it.
Yeah, well, then she could help the intern. We'd have, see, maybe we could have a cooperation between.
Did we have any communication with the college about are these people paid, unpaid, insured, structured?
this is part of their, education. They do an internship, and we don't pay for them.
Well,
It's like, it goes as, credits.
Credits, yeah.
so could they assist the one in the library that's there to do it anyway?
Could she be the one to direct the intern?
I mean, I don't
Should
think
be
that's
doing-
up to us.
So then they'd be working for the library unless one of us was there. I mean, if we had an operation that we were doing something there, we could set it up.
So I think we need, at some point, within the very near future, we need to have a joint meeting with the library folk to see, because we're greatly concerned about that room. We have, Jean is greatly concerned about the local history room, and we're up against partly, I think, the rules and regulations of what the trustees of the library are, and we don't even know what they are, because I don't think Jean said she didn't know what they were. Just that they said something about certain things are in their rules, but they're not on the town website, because I couldn't find anything, so we need to get hold of their rules and regulations and, see if, if we can't have some kind of a joint operation to make sure that room gets set up properly and is controlled properly and is recorded and whatever. Excuse me, so.
Off the record, I think that we are not going to get cooperation from that other group. You know,
All right, so so we're take no action on the correspondence. I guess send Gordon an email back. What did they say they needed for hours? How many hours did they have to complete?
They sent me the policies and procedures and things, so the student has to have a minimum of a 2.5 average, which to me is kind of low. And they have to be a minimum of 8 hours per week for 14 weeks, which is what they get. They get a 4-credit internship of 28 hours. A maximum of 8 credits, so that would mean, 28, whatever, but.
Well, I suppose somebody should go and talk to Jean and see if this is feasible to her to use this intern.
Were we under the impression that this intern has a background in history or
Well, yeah,
documents?
That's what.
I read that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon specializes in duplicating books. That's digitizing. That's what they do.
Students often register their internships through History 425 internship course. They have to give their goals and what they hope to achieve by doing the internship. And they have to fill out this this form and all these policies and procedures. But she did say, where is it, her initial thing? I'm working with a student who is an undergraduate history major, interested in research, collections, management, operations, and other museum or archival related opportunities. So obviously.
Seems like
it
a
would
waste
be-
not to utilize this person,
Right.
but
I mean, even
And
the
these
inventory-
things have to be in by June 1st. was
Well-
supposed to be in by June 1st. Now, the problem I had with that is, she sent us a question on May 16th. We only meet once a month, and we didn't really have time to do this, but there are fall ones also.
I was just gonna say,
They-
is it just a summer intern?
No,
Something
they have
I
other
don't know.
internships.
What about inventory in the schoolhouse? We've got a lot in there.
I don't think we have 28 weeks worth of inventory.
Maybe we could get something.
It's 8 hours a week
Start
for 28
there.
weeks is what it said.
Yeah. Start there.
Well, they'd have to be there on, I'm not gonna be sitting at the schoolhouse during the week.
I mean, the schoolhouse is alarmed and it needs a key to get in, so we're not handing someone
He can't be there, I
that.
don't believe.
8 weeks minimum of, yeah, so.
If they had a background on what to do in organizing that room, then you're saying this, was there another agency involved other than the board of the library for that historical reference room? It's just the library that's in charge of that?
But it's
Oh,
what, the
well, there's
Friends?
another group that uses it, that I think is their, they think it's their group, their room,
The Friends
Is
of
that
the
what-
Library, is that,
the one at the library.
no, is it called the Friends of the Library? Is that what you're talking
No.
about?
No, and I emailed them and they never responded to me, because about using the library.
All right.
It's,
So we still need a plan.
Well, you can email them back, tell them we're not prepared.
I did.
If they are more prepared, or if they would try to, if they want to forward the ball with this.
You know, in the meantime, until we get our act together, ask them to contact the Historical Society of Old Newbury, 98 High Street,
I
462.
told her that we were interested in having the assistance in getting records at the public library catalog to prep for scanning, that we've not had an intern in the past, and we don't even know how the procedure would work.
Right.
So, and I told them that the library's also anxious to have someone helping them and getting stuff done, and that we need, to be able to have a little more time to come up with some idea
Oh,
of
you've
how we're gonna
already-
run, how we're gonna run an internship.
You've already done that. You've already done that.
What?
Email
You said
them.
that, you said that.
Yeah, oh, all right.
Because I didn't want to leave her hanging.
Yeah,
Of course.
But I didn't say we're not interested
Right.
or anything, I just
Right, no.
said we need a little time to, and we only meet once a
Maybe you could show
month,
that
so.
stuff to that lady, Ackley, is that what you said,
Yeah.
the one at the library, and say, maybe we can get something arranged for the fall
Right,
semester.
even if it is just making a list of what.
That's right,
would
that's
be-
right, because she knows more about cataloging, I would think, than anybody else.
Okay, so we're tabling the Gordon College thing for now.
Oh, she didn't know.
It's a whole different thing, it's not just the
Uh,
library.
So we need to meet with
So
Jean
we-
Ackley and find out what the rules and regulations are with her, from her side and our side,
And
and
the other
come
group.
up with a plan.
We need to understand what the involvement of the other group is
And
too.
if she has somebody that's, can do it,
Right.
I thought she had somebody at the library that knows what they're doing. She could, that person could.
Right, and help with
oversee
the,
it.
and
Right.
if this person that we could get from Gordon College would be more a history buff, she could handle the historic part, while the other person would know about the digitizing, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Should we be concentrating on the reference books, or should we be concentrating on off those cabinets full of photographs?
Well, I think,
You mean
All
our
of it.
cabinets with the photographs?
Yeah.
A lot of the fabric photographs are of houses that we need for the inventory. Someone from somewhere else has no clue what they are, because even people who live here have no clue what they are.
And they're not marked.
Some of them are memorabilia, like family photograph albums and things that, if we had really old photographs that we needed to preserve, but a lot of the things we have are photographs that were taken in the modern era, let me put it that way. We have some maps and things in there that need to get done, but mostly we need to get inventory done.
Yeah, and the inventory really was left up, it was the library. We were all ready to go, but they wanted us to wait till June, because they were putting in a
Oh,
new,
that new system.
That's a
That
different
system.
inventory,
Oh, sorry.
and they had
I'm
to
talking
wait,
about the cabinets full of photographs.
yeah.
well, they had to wait for the new fiscal year, didn't they?
So we're kind of
Something
in the
like
air.
that,
We need to
fiscal year?
talk to
Well, anybody can be a liaison, it's just really gathering information. So if anybody talks to Jean, let's see if we can get this moving further. On either subject, the
Yeah.
photographs or the reference, the historic one.
So I'll see what I'll try to get her to get together and find out about the board and get some kind of a merger meeting going that we can discuss what we want to do, what they expect, and how we can accomplish this, and then find out if this person or a person from Borden can help them and us at the same time.
Yep.
So, all right.
Okay, let's go on to Byfield Estates. We just been sent a copy of this. Can I have that? This is Byfield Estates. They've been working on this since early this year. This is the development, 40B development going in off Pearson Drive. We have just been CC'd a copy. To my knowledge, there is no historic things in that area. In that part of Pearson Drive is the Adams House. In the entranceway, fourth house in on the right. Other than that, I am not aware of any other historic houses or anything down that road.
We tied, on our hands tied, it's a 40B.
It's 40B.
Nothing you can do.
So what was the selectmen saying they were supposed to?
They did a walkthrough on Saturday.
That they were gonna try to find other land to put it on?
But according to a lot of the things that are right in there, if you read it, if you have a chance to read it, they talk about, not in my neighborhood kind of attitude. And it's like, there's a whole list of the percentages across the state of people that have affordable, low-income housing, according to the demographics of the area and the tax base and the whole 9 yards. And what it boils down to is no matter what, you can't really block them.
Right.
So they are at least tasteful. You guys looked at the photographs, right? The plans. And from what I understand from being at one of the Board of Selectmen meetings, that there's that one area that's up against the William Burns, Martin Burns,
Yep.
wildlife area, and they've got something in place to keep that area from, just being a
Right.
run-through field or something from,
Let me-
so that
let
it
me-
will
let me
stay
ask you a
somewhat
question.
protected.
Do you know if, if local residents get first dibs? I mean, or is it just first come, first serve as far as who
Something like
buys
that.
those places? I don't know.
It's,
I mean, I think that would be good to know.
In Hamilton, they did that. The
$500,000.
low income part,
Yeah.
there was a lottery,
Yep.
like they allowed one or two firemen,
Oh,
but whether they do
Yeah.
anything like that here or not, I don't know.
I mean, at least they're
that would
not,
be good to find out, or maybe it's something
Maybe
the
it's-
selectmen could put in.
So how many kids
not that bad.
and then, they can put it all out and then they're going through school.
So, any motions with the Byfield Estates permanent application 40B? Any further discussion? Okay, on to Newbury Golf Center. Permanent application, so we have a packet on said elastic bands stuff.
Holy mackerel.
This one I just got, so I didn't even have a chance to really look at it other
Okay,
than,
we're receivers of site plan review application. I know that most of it, not all, you have received a copy of special permit application is submitted to the selectmen as this project. Site plan review application contains updated additional plans. Information was not included in the special permit application.
they're combining all that area. It's somebody's, Cunningham?
Cunningham property?
It says right at the beginning.
That's who's doing this?
I don't know if he's doing it, but they own.
No, it's not, it's the estate of.
Well, even so.
Owners of record, 131 Scotland Road, Jim Cunningham, Richard Cunningham, Barbara Rogers. Yes. Joint hearing. Everybody breathe deep. Building specifications.
The easiest thing to see is,
Yeah,
Is it
I
a
get
putting green with a,
Right, or a full course, I don't
No.
understand it all.
I don't think they could even fit one in there.
you go ahead and flounder around through all the
I'm
happy
not
little.
floundering.
No, I
just wanna
mean
make sure I
flounder
wasn't
through all the
missing.
happy little info.
We want to see pictures.
And this is the lighting arc thing that, and it gives you, so they got
Yeah, yeah.
putting green, chipping green, and
Here's Scotland Road.
here's Scotland Road.
So I know what the house has the bed, where they have the planter made out of an old bed frame.
Where's Scotland Heights?
This is a flower bed.
Yes, it
There's
is.
So
somewhere.
this is up by the state police barracks?
On
Like
the other
this,
side of the
the,
street, right?
I
But
Googled,
DPW
I
is over
Googled
here.
it, the DPW, the state DPW
State
place
police is
is,
back here.
It's up
Yeah.
on the hill, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
that's,
up on top of the hill.
so I don't understand how it can be a putting green unless it's flat on the inside. Oh, very good. Oh, wait a minute, I'm looking at the roadway, yeah. Where,
no.
no? Yeah.
Here's Salters.
Oh, yeah, there's the DPW.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
DPW there, state police is there.
That's backwards.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't, if you're
That's
coming from
95 right
Byfield.
You're
there.
coming from Byfield, from the
We're going
highway.
over here.
Yep.
Where's Scotland Heights? Scotland Heights is,
So it's like a weird cutout, huh? Yes. Where that big divot is, yeah. I don't know what I never knew where that was.
I don't even.
It's
I
further
think it's
down.
further
It's
down
further
this way,
down, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
I thought it was closer to Scotland Heights somewhere.
Oh, well, this is Scotland Heights,
Yeah.
isn't it? Right here.
where is this? Oh, Scotland Heights isn't that
No,
bad.
Scotland Heights is down here,
No,
Shannon.
no.
This is those new houses, I think. Where's the state police?
Police right there.
Okay, those are the new houses
Yep.
that they built.
Yep. The highway, yeah,
The
the
state police is
highway
there.
is,
That's the
Yeah.
pit, that's the pit there, state police is right
Yep.
there.
yeah.
So I saw this was silly.
So this house is staying, I'm assuming, and so this is the area they're gonna use.
Yeah.
Go behind there.
That's just a giant hill going
It's
up.
hilly,
Yeah, it is.
exactly.
Well, it's not our concern.
That's right.
It's a driving range, a putting green, chipping,
I don't know why anybody would think of putting something like that there, just
Because
because it's, yeah,
because they need to
exactly.
pay the taxes for the
Yeah,
land.
and it's not, but it's not.
And maybe they don't wanna make, they wanna make sure that it doesn't get built on.
Yeah, and you can always let that grow over if you don't use it anymore too. You know, there's not like gonna be a bunch of buildings.
So what tells the lots was it's 2, 11, and 4B. 2, 11, and 4B.
Yep. So that house is staying, or whatever it's, oh, and it's theirs. It's all kind of.
Yeah, what is that, something island?
Oh, across the street from
No.
Coffin.
It's, the sign's on this side of the road.
Right, but it's,
If you look, it is. It's not on the side of the street that the
It used to
DPW
be.
or the state,
it
it's,
used to be on the other side though.
well, there's one on the side of the hill there that says,
Oh, really?
I'm an observant driver.
So there's nothing historic about this, there was nothing over there that was, the mines and stuff were further on
So as
down
far
the
as
road?
I'm concerned, we don't see any. I mean, I don't know that I'm sure they're gonna have to have one of those big nets up like they do on
Right.
Route 1.
Right, right.
And like Nancy said, the lights, that's not, that's neighbors.
Yeah, that's the ones that got complained about.
They're the neighbors.
Yeah, that's true, so
Is this going up the hill?
It is, it's
maybe you drive up there and then you
It's up the hill, I don't think it's going up, I think it's up. If you go from Google Earth and you look down, there's a big flat space.
Yeah.
And
On the
then
other side?
everything else is trees.
Yeah.
So they're gonna cut all the trees down. Oh, no, it's not we're not
Special
zoning,
permit application, so
we're not zoning.
I mean, your butters have to go along with you, I would think.
They are the abutters.
They all deal with it.
That's why I don't see it.
Okay.
I would think that would be a problem.
What's
Well,
it
they
called?
have to recruit.
Golf, Newbury Golf Center.
Newbury Golf Center.
No, motion, any motion or anything?
I'm sure I didn't fold that up right.
That's okay,
There
I'll
you
worry
go.
about it later. I'm a good mapper.
Special permit process for Newbury Golf Center. Any discussions or motions?
What is our responsibility for this?
It's just a CC copy, is all I've been.
We're getting CC the same as all the other boards.
Oh, I heard that we were getting all, yeah.
Because we are part of this
Yeah.
town government.
Part of the permit process. This project also requires special permit from Board of Selectmen for recreational use in a residential agricultural district. Now, that's recreational, I think of cross-country skiing.
It's golfing.
Golfing range is a business.
But they're also doing, there's something in there. Something I read. They're gonna have children's recreational thing for children to. This whole thing here on the easements and what they're doing and why they're doing it. It's an agricultural district. They're also gonna have children things, oh, and ice cream.
Into Little River.
Your comments very much appreciated, and will assist the planning board and board of selectmen rendering a decision on this project.
They're having ice cream too, I remember.
This
See, it's
board
funny the
has no
things
comments.
that that's why it's
Stress
recreational.
Wednesday.
They're providing things for children to learn how to do stuff and as well as, and they're gonna have an ice cream meal, like a snack, and have little outings.
Okay, so, no comments or motions?
No
in effect?
discussion,
No discussion,
discussion.
well, it has been discussed, and there's
No
nothing
historical
further,
significance of alcohol.
no comment. What other business do we have before us today? We've already the map. Eva has forwarded all her notes to Lon. Regrettably, we missed our window, but I'm sure he'll get right on it as soon as we get back. Explain Macris.
And how to do the inventory. We're having summer homework.
All right. Jan is setting us up with Macris.
Literally and figuratively.
Holy mackerel, look at work. I had
So
no
is it
idea.
the whole town, like every house?
No, I'm not an unreasonable person.
I went to school.
Pushy, but not unreasonable. Just put initials and stuff, so I think sure I had one for everybody. Yeah. Most of this you should have already gotten before, but to save you from trying to find it from 2 years ago,
I have it right
Oh,
here.
those pictures.
I copied it again. But I didn't copy all the forms. All the forms are on the website of the state. But Macris, So what you've got in your packet is how to do the inventory. This thing, I've given this to everybody before, but just so, this is from the Mass Historical Commission. Shows you how to take photos of the houses so that you take them from the right angles and things to that effect, okay? That's part one, so everybody knows how to do it. Part two, the next thing down is the list of all the houses that say they are 1840, or I think I went to 1850 and under, all the way down to the oldest houses that we have antiques. Take the clip off. So that first clump is the inventory, how-tos. The next thing down is from the town. This is from the town website. I dumped all of the houses into and merged them all together so that the first, they show you the parcel ID number, the street location, the address, what kind of house it's supposed to be, who the owners currently are, and all that stuff. This is off Patriot's site on the town website. So these are the houses that we should be basically concerned with getting demolished. Okay?
Oh, these are the, all of these?
Yes.
You
Okay.
can't take pictures now, right?
Why not?
Yeah, you can.
It says.
Oh, I thought at the beginning
Best
it said.
taken in the fall, winter, or early spring,
Well-
before the foliage comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you're
Well, the
not.
gypsy moth are gonna eat all the foliage
Yeah,
soon,
won't be
so
a problem.
they won't
And
be
then the
any
next
use.
things down, the next package parts down, or however you want to phrase it, is Macris. This is the state's, the Massachusetts Historical Commission site.
This one here, January?
Yeah, that's a list of what is on there from us already.
Okay.
See, on the far side, it
Yeah.
shows little, so if you go into Macris,
Yeah.
which is easy enough to get into,
This is what you see?
you can open up and you will see these entire packages that were done, the inventory. Okay, my biggest problem with most of them is they say Main Street. Okay, where is it? It doesn't have a street address.
Not really specific.
However, you will find the photo and a description of the thing in the system. Maybe you guys can try to identify them. And then I can find out how we go about changing them. This one that I gave you an example. It says it's NEW, which is for Newbury, and 300 is there's certain special dwellings, architecture, different things, stones, they have different little numbers for them, but, which is all in the inventory booklet thing. But the one that says new 300, do you see it? It's really kind of dark in a small picture. I gave you 3 samples. This is the
Oh,
one
I
with
see
the-
it, yeah.
Well, I don't know, is this the doll house?
Kinda looks like it,
You know,
kinda.
kinda,
Oh, it is.
yeah.
Is it?
And what does it say? High Road, no number.
85 High Road.
Yeah. No, another one. There's 3, you have 3 samples.
Oh, this one? Oh,
There's
okay.
one for
Okay.
35 high, one for just says high,
Oh, High Road.
and there's another one, but I don't have it with my file, but. So, to me, this is the
Okay.
doll house. It's not even,
Yeah, it doesn't have a name.
but I mean, they did the inventory form, I mean, it's
Oh,
like,
okay.
there's like almost no information on this one, and it's a New England Antiquities house. So we need to kind of correct it. But
So
at
you
least they
need-
got some stuff in there.
We need this corrected.
Yeah, so I'll find out how to correct. If you guys can look at the list and find the Main Street things and go in the system and look at the pictures and see what they are,
Yeah.
then maybe we can identify what houses they are and tick them on the list of from the town list to make sure we don't do it twice. So people who aren't in Byfield, like that would be the rest of us, except.
Yeah,
um,
because I was gonna say
Yeah.
it'd be pretty useless and.
It would be helpful if maybe everybody could try to do like 5 or 10 of them before September. I don't think that that would be too pushy, but at least get it, if you
Now,
get
when
the
you say do
forms.
them, you mean
See the
fill out
form
a
that's
form?
attached, yeah,
Just like these,
and then have little maps,
Where
like
do you get the
street
forms?
maps.
Are they on the website?
They're on the
Okay.
website, they're also in the library in the file
all
cabinet.
right.
And I gave them all to you guys, already had copies of them.
All right, you just fill out as much as you
Are
can.
they digital forms? Should we have a digital copy?
Well, we have to actually have a live photo printed and attached to the form. They get a real, actual black and white photo. Has to be sent in.
So they want it paper?
They need paper, yeah. Well, we can scan it to them, but, I think, but we need paper and the actual photo, but, and then they scan everything into the system. They digitize, we paper.
Jean, what, excuse me, I'm sorry, what are they, where some of there's lots of numbers, but there's nothing
It just says Main Street.
new,
Oh,
20,
Central Street, Central Street?
no, Main Street, I'm over
Yeah.
on Main, so it's like 24, 25, 30.
Yeah, they're the numbers.
Yeah, so that's the number of,
So
on
if-
Main Street.
Yeah,
But there's
no,
no-
it's the number that was assigned to, they start with
And they
form
gave-
numbers.
But they gave no street numbers,
Yeah.
which is what she's saying maybe is the problem. Because see, there's a bunch
No.
of, there's like 4 of them on Forest Street too.
So-
Yeah, I
There's
saw
only
that.
2 that have numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you.
We should like assign streets.
it's like,
Well, but you look at some of those that are on Main Street,
Mm-hmm.
and they're 1850, 1840, 18, I mean, they're old.
yeah, they're
Here's
not
some
all
house.
old enough, but they're old.
Well, I think 1830 is pretty old. I know that doesn't, they can tear them down.
So if we could perhaps look at the list that's already on their system, which is this mattress list. See the things that are already, that are naked, there's no numbers, there's nothing. So we can find the thing on their website and hopefully open them up and find out what's there. And they should have copies in the library and the file cabinet, but I'm not positive that we do. That's part of the problem. So that's part of the problem. We've got all this stuff in there, but we don't even know what it is, so we don't know what it's on. Our antique, old, colonial, we're not sure what they are because we don't have,
Well, should we be digging out those sheets out of the library?
we need to figure out what all these houses are that are already on the system, so that we don't
Just on, so-
go off of our list from the town website of ancient houses, antique and old, first Federalist style, old styles. Are they already done? And we just don't know it?
Well, we better go tear this file cabinets apart and find this stuff
So,
before we do work twice.
yeah,
I know a
Schedule the
lot of
next
these
meeting for the
people
library.
on this list.
Hmm?
I know a lot of
That's-
people on this list on Main Street
yeah.
that I know, most of them.
So we need to see if we already
Right.
identified those houses and we don't have the numbers. So, but the stuff in Old Town, there's not that much. Green Street is, obviously, down here.
Green Street, Low Street.
Yeah, Forest Street, Elm Street, Central Street, that's all up in Byfield.
Right.
High Streets and High,
Do you know
Little's Lane.
the one they tore down, Candy Cook's house?
Yes.
They have that as 1765.
What?
They have to be taken in black and white, don't they?
Did you ever get anything?
That was torn down.
I know, but it wasn't that long ago.
So we need to come up with a game plan on how to solve this problem so we can get started with the new ones.
Should we start with ones at the library.
Let's have our next meeting there, take that file cabinet apart. We can bring your work clothes.
It's not that, it's only one, it's like one drawer.
Let's get it over with.
I mean, I don't think you're gonna get really dirty.
Figure of speech.
So Jan, if we went to that website and found that a particular house we were looking at, they had all the information, they just didn't have the street number, it had already been done, can you change that, or does the whole thing have to be redone again?
Well, I need to find that out.
Okay, so another question, Jan. So in this paper here, that has those little pictures.
Yeah, you can see the whole, this is where I got these forms off of.
Okay, so, but is there another, will there be another one like this that has Byfield homes on it? Because this is all Newbury. On this particular.
We are all Newbury. According to the state of Massachusetts, this is Newbury, not the village of Byfield, not Plum Island. It's Newbury.
Even with 2 zip codes, they still,
Doesn't matter.
Okay,
You put on the state form, like I went on a job interview in Byfield and it said it doesn't exist in the state.
I think there's more
Yes.
of them. She might have just done
That's
that
what I
as an
meant.
example.
Yeah.
So this was just an
That's just an
example.
example, there's more of them, right?
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
But they're all gonna be NEW for Newbury,
Okay.
So don't look for
regardless
Byfield.
of whether, there's no
Right.
code for Byfield.
Okay,
It's done by legal town or city, not villages. So some of them, I think there's copies of the forms in the cabinet.
Okay.
But if we can, you know, so if you, in other words, if you can go on the computer and look things up and say,
I'll go on that.
okay, I know what that one is and it's there, give me the number and I can find out about fixing them.
okay.
Okay.
And then otherwise,
May not have to go any further.
if you already, like you guys especially know, a lot of places in that area, and Channing knows
You know,
some also.
that day that I did go look in those file cabinets, I remember seeing those, and some of them had no information, had a picture of the house, and it didn't say what type it was, didn't say when it had nothing.
Yeah.
So they started taking pictures, but they didn't go any further maybe.
Yeah, so I don't want to reinvent the entire inventory that's partially been done by this, and it's on the state. I gotta see if we can't amend, like say, please, can we please access,
Right.
NEW 300 and add
Add
233 to the word
Yeah.
Main Street
Right,
or
right,
something?
right.
And that might help a lot right there. So we need to identify what we've got on inventory. We have pictures that you guys were looking, remember we looked to one day that
I think I know.
people have given us pictures or taken pictures,
Yep.
but I don't know what they are.
Right.
Some of them I
There's
can
no
identify
identification.
because I know.
Gave us whole packets of pictures of the
That too.
interior of houses with
And
no information.
otherwise, if they're, and if we look at the list, the things that all say antique especially, if we know they exist, we need to get them
No,
inventory.
I'm just.
So look for, you know, like 10,
Yep.
then we'll just have to, like, if you guys send me an email over the website and CC everybody and just say, you know, 1 Coleman Road, I'm working on that, or 38 Main Street, I think I found this thing on it, then I'll just keep ticking off of a main list and say, we found this, we're fixing that, we're gonna do this. Kind of like we did with the map, what we're removing and what we're keeping, because we have a lot of houses here that we're gonna potentially have a problem for the DDB. And if we've got nothing, we have to start right then and there, because part of this too is we have to verify. And it means I have to go through, because nobody's gonna want to do this with me, the Registry of Deeds
Well, I was just gonna
website
say,
and trace the
because,
deeds all
yeah.
the way back to 16-something. Because it gets really hairy after the early 1700s on there.
So on that bylaws, we are 1720.
1820.
Right, okay. I mean, I just, when I was saying. when I was-
1820 and earlier is the DDB.
Right,
30, 20 or 30?
20, I believe.
we looked at, or somebody looked at Cook's house, and that's supposed to be
17 something, they just tore it down last fall, did you ever get it?
The one on the way to Georgetown on the right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
oh, all right, it wasn't,
I did that.
oh,
That was modern construction.
so they must
1820 or
it
earlier.
says 17 something.
Yeah, but I'm just
Must have
saying,
torn
saying
that down, right, so that was
1765.
wrong.
It had no historic value at all, I looked right at it.
Because it goes off the original building of the site, and then they get updated. So the key is to find out if the thing is the real date.
So you
Could have
want
got
to
the
have to
original
go through
structure
the
that was
deeds.
there, and now this is
Yeah, and
another
that's
So
structure.
the whole thing's been
Yes, right.
demolished
Yeah.
Right.
70 years ago and rebuilt, but it
Right,
didn't get
it's- it
updated on
didn't
the,
get
on the
changed.
Patriot
Gotcha.
system.
Yeah.
Because the best example is the one on the corner of Marlborough Street. And if you look at it and look what the website says, and look in the registry of deeds,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
don't match.
I know,
So,
no, so,
so if you guys can identify the houses and everything, I can try to back through the deeds. You might throw in on that too, because you've done that a lot too, but it's kind of annoying to try to navigate, because you have to go
It's
by book and
interesting,
page
though.
numbers
Yeah,
and keep
yeah.
going backwards.
Yeah.
And then, but
I don't even
sometimes
know
you
how
get in a
you do that.
circle.
because I've looked at the website too, and I don't know how you get past, I mean, they don't even show anything before 1920?
Oh, no, they go down back to 1640.
Right, but then you can't type information in, I mean,
Well,
you
you
can't
have
say,
to,
show me
difference,
this.
you have to go by people and stuff, like, you can't
Oh,
go
they
by
have
the
to have
address.
specific information
Because
to
don't forget,
ask.
the addresses weren't the
Well,
same.
even like the new, they call it the Newman
Yeah.
house here, and it's 1800. It must have been Mrs. Bush's, but it's on here. Well, that's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah, so part two, if,
right, is taking things.
so if everybody will look at the list that I printed off of Macros and see like if that's a good, you know, it's already gone, let me know, so we won't concern ourselves with updating anything to do with something that's already not there. Now, I don't know, do they take them off?
I guess,
Yeah.
I guess.
And then the other thing that we need to do, in
What
my
if somebody from their office will come out and talk to us one day?
that would be nice. We need to see what we can do about getting preservation restrictions down on the Lower Green, or at least get a historic district down there also, like there is on the Upper Green. So we need to get, like, you know, Lon and Nancy and I and Eva, because we're all in that area, find out how the houses around the green, up to, say, the settlers' burial ground, and, because I know the, what is it called? It was called the Ferry House?
Yep.
Is that what
Ferry
it is,
House.
the orange house?
Yep.
That's got a preservation trust on it, but
Yeah, I can remember talking to her, because I did a class.
they
there.
came in the schoolhouse. And, so like, you know, down to the river, because the Dole House is already taken care of with, New England Antiquities. And then, you know, come up from there and see if we can't.
Because when they were doing their house over, it was interesting, when she was telling us how they had to do the shingle roof, and they had to go through that.
Because we're not talking about a local historic district like Newburyport. You have to go to a board to change a light post and.
So what do you?
We're talking
just-
like the Upper Green
Yeah.
is a historic district.
District.
And it's on the National Historic Registry,
Right.
which is what we've been talking about this whole
Right.
time with the changing of things in the area. There is nothing on the Lower Green. And I found paperwork from a previous group that appears to be that they got everything and put it into the Mass Historical Commission, but it's not on the list. And it never got put on the National Registry, so somewhere it
Wonder
got
why.
stalled, and it was in 2007, and it never moved.
What was this location?
A Lower Green in the
Oh,
schoolhouse.
they started doing it?
It's all done.
Huh.
Just the Lower Green of the schoolhouse, not the whole area, but it never made it on the, I found it in the library. So we need to acquaint ourselves with the library for so many things.
All right, let's
But,
have our next meeting at the library,
okay,
and also see if somebody from Mass Historical Macris can come and speak to us some night. Two things. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
second.
8:30.
You have to make a motion.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
Eva makes the motion, second.
I'll second it.
Sue on the second, all in favor?